My problem with guns is I don't buy either side's arguments completely, right? So the conservative argument is that guns are written in the Constitution because the founding fathers thought if all the citizens have guns, then the government will have to do what they say, or else the people will rise up and fight the government, right? Which is a legitimately great idea in the 1700s. But
Comedian tells joke about the Second Amendment and accidentally reinforces the reason why we need the Second Amendment. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms for your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like my channel and like my content, you can support me through the links in the description box. But let's talk about this. I came across this clip, and I want to thank, always give thanks to the people I get my source information from. This is Anthony Brand Logan on his channel. He talked about this, and it's very, very interesting. But a comedian, Neal Brennan, basically did a joke about the Second Amendment, and I'm going to play that for you in a minute. But Neal Brennan definitely has long ties to Dave Chappelle through his show on Comedy Central. And that's where he kind of got his foothold in. But I want to go ahead and play this because despite the fact it's a joke, it's funny. But I always say that people who tell jokes have an element of truth behind what they're saying. For the YouTube moderators, I am using this for commentary and reaction. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch it.
my problem with guns is I don't buy either side's arguments completely, right? So the conservative argument is that guns are written in the Constitution because the founding fathers thought if all the citizens have guns, then the government will have to do what they say, or else the people will rise up and fight the government, right? Which is a legitimately great idea in the 1700s. But the problem is there's still people now hoarding weapons, thinking that at some point they may need to take on the American military, and they think they have a shot, right? And look, maybe they're right, which is why I'm proposing we test their theory and once a year have a head-to-head showdown. Say 100 members of the NRA versus, 2 members of the military. Broadcasted on Fox Christmas Day. Like, Merry Christmas and welcome to the 2022 NRA Military Showdown. Let's go down to the field of battle, meet one of our NRA combatants. Sir, what's your name? What kind of weapon do you work with? And he's like, my name's Andy Baker, and I got an AR-15, wearing Kevlar head to toe. Andy, how confident are you, scale of 1 to 10? Fucking a million. We're gonna check in with the military real quick, and they cut to one guy by himself in a bunker, and he's like, my name's Staff Sergeant Jeremiah Walker. And they're like, Jeremiah, what kind of weapon do you work with? And he's like, look, I don't know if this is fair, but I'm working with a drone. Yeah, it's equipped with 8 Hellfire missiles and a high-powered camera. As you can see on this monitor here, the NRA fellas are actually in just one big cluster. So I'm gonna, we started, all right? All right, yeah, so I'm gonna hit this button right here. Yeah, now they're all dead. That'll do it for this year's NRA Military Showdown. Brought to you by Whole Foods.
Yeah, you heard that and you saw that. Now, you right off the jump, you notice right in the beginning, he said, if the government becomes tyrannical, that was great in the 1700s. As if a government cannot become tyrannical at any given point in time. I mean, the 1700s, throughout history, we've had governments become tyrannical. We don't need a history lesson on that. So just because we supposedly are so evolved technology from that point of view, doesn't mean that a government can't become tyrannical. It doesn't mean that. And it also reinforces the fact that in the 1700s, the civilian population had the same arms that the military had, which put them in a position to be able to fight against the government. And another thing that he also went into the whole thing about the military. Now, saying that, the military, basically one drone could wipe out 100, and, part of his joke. But then he's taking the assumption that the military will be on the side of the government. And he doesn't seem to understand that a majority of the military are conservative in nature. More conservatives join the military than liberal. The modern day liberal, not the true technical definition of liberal, but the modern day liberal does not join the military. Conservatives do. It's a family trait, what have you. Patriotism, fine. So he's assuming that these military members would then turn around and start shooting or drone striking their own people. And I'm thoroughly disagreeing with that, because I think when it really rubber hits the road and it really comes down to a government being tyrannical, I don't think you're going to find the entire military on the side of the government in that matter. So you may find some of those drones heading in the other direction. Just my thought. But I wanted to go ahead and play that. But like I said, his views, obviously, on the Second Amendment, he says he does not take an opinion one way or the other because he doesn't believe both sides. But then says that, well, in the 1700s, maybe that would make sense of a tyrannical government. But now you're not able to beat the government, so why try? But that's where the gist of where he's going with that. And he's, the force of arms, and there was an event, and people always said that to me, when has ever a people risen up against the government? And I always point them, well, specifically here in the United States, I always point them to 1946 in Athens, Tennessee, the event that became known as the Battle of Athens, where the mayor and the sheriff tried to hijack the election by stealing all the ballot boxes to then rig them so that he would win again, because he thought that he was going to lose, and he was going to lose actually. And the citizenry took up arms against them, and it was a gun battle. It was literally a gun battle to get the ballot boxes back and to restore democracy, that thing that Democrats claim they love so much, while they violate it nonstop. And that's another video. But I wanted you to check that out. And as I said, there's always an element of truth to everything anyone says. So let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.